It's definitely been a wild 24 hours in crypto. We definitely had some ups, some downs, more in the downs right now for SHIB in the crypto market in general. And understand that SHIB is just following everything else right now. We're down about 2.9% or so on today's daily candle. And hopefully this is something that flips. Again, this is before the PPI report comes out this morning. But what I will say is that people are being very reactionary to nothing burger news. And I talked a lot about what this news was in my earlier ADA video, and you guys can check that out if you guys would like. I'll run through it briefly in this video, but what we're seeing from SHIB right now is actually a little bit of a bullish formation being created, and I do want to talk about that with you guys, as well as a couple fundamental things here. So if you guys haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. It's been growing like crazy, and it's all because of you guys. Now, there is something funny that I want to talk about in this video as well, and I'll get to that a little bit later on, but SHIB has obviously come back down after breaching its 20-day moving average. We did not get a confirmed move above here yet. So we just got to be obviously patient and watch and wait till this plays out. Now, what I will say is that some of the negative news that hit yesterday was Treasury Secretary Bessent saying that if the debt limit is not resolved, it could be the biggest financial crisis of 2008. That kind of got the ball rolling. We had the Genius Act, the stablecoin bill, pass a round of voting. Now it's going to go to the final vote in the Senate. It sounds like we had Iran basically intelligence came out that Iran's trying to build a nuclear weapon, which has been the case for a long time. We have Israel escalations. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff that is not stuff that really doesn't need to be worried about, frankly. And of course, the market just decided to be reactionary. We got into some liquidations across the space, and here we sit right now, 6:25 a.m. Central Standard Time, just waiting to see where the day is going to take us. Now, BTC did do some dropping here. BTC has actually been dumpy just over the last 3 days, and unfortunately, the market has kind of moved with that. BTC looking like it might retest this 20-day moving average. We'll watch and see how that plays out, but really the big story here is Ethereum. Ethereum is still very much extended out from its trend, which is a great sign, and that's actually good for alts. That's why I think there's a little bit of resilience in terms of alts here. You know, we have not made a really big extension back up yet in terms of BTC dominance. We'll see if that happens, but we're in kind of a comfortable area here. Actually, the longer we stay right here, the better. I'd love to see us just drop out, but understand if we're going to consolidate, if we're going to do some chop, right here is where we want to be, right between that 20-day moving average and that 50-day moving average. And that could be right when we have an aggressive move to the downside. Might be a sign of what's coming, so just potentially watch for that taking place. But what I did see that I thought were a couple good things for SHIB is, one, we are actually building the right shoulder on our inverse head and shoulders. That's a great sign, right? That could be exactly where SHIB gets a little bit of a slingshot to the upside. Not saying this has to happen for sure, but just something to monitor nonetheless. And what I did have to say here as well is we once again hit a new all-time high in terms of holders. So we did have a little bit of holder capitulation yesterday. It's kind of a normal thing, but it's shorter term holders. So all you're seeing really right now, apart from those two big days, one that we had on June 8th and one that we had back on June 4th, is just short-term people just freaking out over small drops in the market and dumping their bags. Really not that big of a deal, okay? Even this drop that we're on right now, it's not that big of a deal. Could it become a big deal? Yeah. If we continue to see liquidations across the crypto market, if people continue to capitulate and dump their bags, then yeah, that could develop into something much, much bigger. But we'll just have to watch and wait and see how that all plays out. Now, did want to bring this to everybody's attention. While retail was dumping yesterday, institutional money was buying. Institutions bought a crap ton of Ethereum, $240 million worth, second largest day ever, 18 straight days now, guys. That is tied the record for the most straight days of accumulation for spot Ethereum ETFs. It's a pretty big deal, and it's ascending, okay? Now, what I will say is on the BTC side, accumulation here as well. So retail is just getting played. They're getting manipulated into dumping their bags yet again. And what this usually leads us to is some higher floors in prices. All right. And we're obviously waiting for SHIB to stop seeing capitulation here as well and start making some moves. But what we're also seeing, I thought, was something pretty funny here as well. So if you guys remember, there was that BitTrue hacker back in, gosh, when was that? February that stole all that Ethereum, that did the dumping. Well, the same funds that they dumped from all the Ethereum that they stole, they're now using to actually reaccumulate Ethereum at cheaper prices, which I thought was kind of funny, and I'm sure you guys will as well. Got to find a little bit of humor in the market right now with just the way that things are moving. But what I will say is this: is SHIB's still sitting at a comfortable 19th spot in the crypto market. Number 17, if you don't count stables. I don't count stables. $200 million in daily trading volume. So we have seen a little bit of an increase in activity during the weeks. Now we've been very comfortably kind of range bound between 120 to 140 billion dollars in daily trading volume. That's a pretty good spot to be. I'll take it, because activity is what's necessary for us to make extended moves to the upside. Sometimes you need a buying event to take place. Shakeouts are buying events, and this is 100% a shakeout. It's not really surprising. The news is big nothing burgers, and people are falling for it once again. But we'll see how the day progresses. The week's not over. We got a lot of time left in this, and we do have the potential for some good news to keep hitting the markets. I will say, as ugly as the last 24 hours has been, and as quote unquote negative as the negative news has been, we've been getting very consistent positive news across the space. But we'll see how US money decides to react today. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.